All right, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time here on Onside with me, Joshua. Hello to you. Be discussing transfers, no? Nyama Ekoso in the market. But what you have to do before we begin the discussions is that turn on the post notifications and subscribe for this channel. Subscribe. Turn on the post notifications. Anytime I drop a video, you'll be the first person to receive it. And we'll build a very successful community on this platform. But share market no, because over the last few hours, a couple of things are happening. Chelsea is getting closer with Mrantia from Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck to join the Chelsea team as per the request of Xabi Alonso. But the other transfers, Liverpool and Bradley Barcola, I'll bring you the updates. Vinicius Jr. is also very close to signing a new contract at Real Madrid. I'll bring you the updates on that as well. And we have Roberto Mancini sealing his move. Currently, he's going to be the coach of the Italian national team. No? And what you also have to know is that there has been a resignation by Paolo Maldini and Leonardo. Leonardo and Paolo Maldini were in charge of the technical department at Italian Football Federation. No? And after the Andre Pirlo deal fell through, no, it looks like it didn't fall on the good side of Paolo Maldini and his advisor Leonardo. So they have decided to resign. And at this point, the new technical director for the Italian Football Federation is Claudio Ranieri. So Claudio Ranieri is coming at the time where Mancini has also been appointed. And these are relatively experienced hands on Wabeji. But those controversies concerning Andre Pirlo and the fact that he's linked to a Russian betting company, all of those discussions are quite very controversial. It looks like the Italian Football Federation, they have had to radically decide that they don't want to associate themselves with Andre Pirlo simply because of that. And Andre Pirlo came out to state, say it was purely, sporting, right? It didn't have anything to do with his, involvement in Italian Ejumano. And that was even when he was coaching at club level some time back. But as it stands now, there's nothing that would cause the Italian Football Federation to bring in a coach who has a record of dabbling with betting companies. How much more a Russian company at that? So it's very complicated over there. But as it stands now, Paul Maldini and his assistant or his advisor, a friend Leonardo, they've resigned. And Claudio Ranieri has taken over the job as the technical director for the Italian Football Federation. While Mancini has taken over the job. Mancini, the former Manchester City coach, has taken over the job for the Italian Football Federation as the head coach of the Italian national team. So those are interesting times. Chelsea played in the first preseason game against that's Western Sydney Wanderers. Western Sydney Wanderers, and that game ended 6-4 in favor of Chelsea. We'll discuss that game briefly, and I'll tell you what I think about the first preseason game and the performance, and also Xabi Alonso after the game, the post-match press conference. He said a couple of things. Stay with me here on Onside. We are not offside, we are onside. If you're watching this video, just know that you are onside. It is very good to have you here. Yes, share discussion. Now see free the camp of Ellie Junior Krupi. There's some news. Ellie Junior Krupi. Now, 6 hours ago, Fabrizio Romano was reporting that Barcelona are not proceeding in talks to sign Ellie Junior Krupi at this stage. Understand Barca will not advance on this option. All right? At present, Bournemouth informed the clubs about clear stance, no intention to sell this summer. A few hours before this news about Monteno, it was projected that Ellie Junior Krupi of Bournemouth, right, he was priced with a tag of about 130 million euros. 130 million, and I'll bring you that source because myself, when I saw it, I was asking myself, what at all is happening in this transfer market? Early junior Krupi, Bournemouth, 130 million euros. Oh, I kind of cry sometimes. I am struggling to understand. Early junior Krupi, 130 million euros. And it was speculated that Barcelona were trying to secure the signature of the young man who has barely just come into this Bournemouth setup. Of course, he's a very excellent player. He's a very good player. He's doing very well. I understand and I get the hype that is around him. But for Bournemouth to try and price him at 130 million. Yes, so this was according to Gerard Romero. He says Bournemouth are demanding 130 million euros from any club interested in signing early junior Krupi. So this came after last night. It was speculated that Barcelona would go in for a young man to join them. But at this stage, do you think Barcelona can afford 130 million euros? That's number one. Number two is when I'm talking about the young guy and the fact that, of course, even if Bournemouth didn't want to sell him, is he worth 130 million euros? I don't think so. So, what I thought, and Bournemouth, you see, I keep saying this about some of the clubs in the English Premier League, right? Those you would consider as mid-table teams. Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Brentford, right? Everton. There are times when they are doing business with you, they are very ruthless. The reason is because there's a certain model that they are working with. And they decide model not to say they want to groom their players, help them have a certain form of projection and trajectory with their performance. Then when a team sees so much value in these players, they sell them for hefty amounts. Then they go back into the Division 1s, the lesser leagues, and go and bring other players to come and fill in those gaps. And they do the same thing. So it's a recycle process. So at this point, if Alex Scott is being priced at nothing less than 75 million pounds, and now we have early junior Krupi who has come into the picture, costing or being, quoted in terms of his asking price at 130 million euros, I am wondering. Imagine if a team is ready to take the player away for that amount. Bournemouth can go into the market again, into the lesser league. They will get about 5 or 6 players from this transfer fee, and it helps them to build another project. Those players that they're going to bring in, by the time you get to 2027, 28, those players will be ripe, and they will sell each of them for more than 130 million euros. So that's smart business. But that is also a way of them telling other teams that this player is not for sale. Because I can imagine if Early Junior Krupi is sold at this time by Bournemouth, who is going to replace instantly when the season is just about starting in less than 1 month? You need Early Junior Krupi to still develop his potential at Bournemouth. By the time next season comes and any team wants to come closer to him, you can demand more money for the player. So Early Junior Krupi has to stay with Bournemouth. If he's able to give more than if he's able to enter double figures in goals and assists this season, that is coming. Look, Bournemouth have every right to demand that 130 million euros. And teams that are ready and willing and see the value in him, they will pay. Look at what is happening with Alex Scott. And I can imagine if Chelsea value the player and per the statistics and the measures that I indicated to you yesterday are things that are anything to go by. Chelsea want to spend that amount on him, 75 million. They'll spend it on Alex Scott. They'll go and bring him into the free. And look, Onu player has the potential to turn things around for a Chelsea Football Club. And the value goes to Bournemouth. So that's some smart business that Bournemouth is doing, right? Quote a very hefty amount on him, ward away the interest, get the player to stay, develop him. Then the next season when he's improved upon his performance, you can sell him for more money. And I think that's very, very, very intelligent from Bournemouth. I think they're doing something so well. And let's see how it goes. But Roberto Mancini, he is new coach for Italy national team. He will lead them towards the Euro 2028. So this was reported by Fabrizio Romano a couple of hours ago. And he said that Roberto Mancini had been appointed as new Italy head coach, as confirmed by the federation. But when the Here We Go dropped, there were other details. So he says the new project set to start under President Malago after he stopped the Pello deal at signatures level due to his collaboration with Air Rashembra. So it was all said and done. They were going through the contract formalization process, and then it looked like Malago disagreed with Andre Pello's previous connections based on the Russian betting company that he's associated with, and decided that no, he was going to go with it. So Roberto Mancini now comes in to join as Italian head coach. Now, Joško Gvardiol has signed a new long-term contract. Now, he'll be at Manchester City till 2031, sorry. Until Joško Gvardiol signed his new salary with an increase in pay rise. And I'll get those numbers for you and see what the new contract direction for Abranti Afeni Joško Gvardiol is. And that is a good deal for him because he's a player who still has immense potential and still has the ability to give Man City some good years and some good performances. And I think he's... Now, I have some updates from the camp of Nicolas Jackson. In the last few days, it looked like Aston Villa were closing in on him, trying to bring him into a play for team my friend Aston Villa. But there's some updates according to Fabrizio Romano. He says that Aston Villa are interested in Nicolas Jackson since May. Unai Emery knows him so well, but reports about possible loans are inaccurate. A Premier League club can only have a maximum of one player on loan from the same Premier League club. Chelsea and Villa already completed the Garnacho deal. So at this point, Chelsea would have to sell Nicolas Jackson outright. And I can imagine the kind of deal that will go into that, because already the loan deal between Chelsea and Alejandro Garnacho is a loan with an obligation to buy. By the time the season comes to an end, there are performance-based clauses in that loan deal. But whatever it is, Chelsea will still receive £46 million from that deal between themselves and Aston Villa for Alejandro Garnacho. But now, Chelsea are trying to secure the same form of deal for Nicolas Jackson to move from Chelsea to Aston Villa. But my question is, why are Chelsea looking to explore the same type of deal for the two players? At least you can now sell Nicolas Jackson off. Let him go. Even if it's for £65 million, even if it's £60 million, I think it's a very good deal. And he goes there, there are performance-related clauses attached to his contract. And Chelsea can still reap the benefit of it, even if in terms of sell-on. So I really don't know. Unai Emery wants the player. Chelsea wants to sell the player. So they have to find a way to do a deal. Because now, as it stands, Chelsea, in terms of their attacking options, Liam Delap is expected to go. So let's see how that materializes. Joao Pedro is there. There's the inclusion of Danny Welbeck coming in. There's an Emmanuel Emega who also looks like there are speculations of his exit. It's not confirmed yet. So if Nicolas Jackson is going to leave, then quickly whatever we're going to make from that, Chelsea will have to go into the market and make one more recruitment in terms of the forward line. Whether it's a young player, whether it's an experienced player, let that player come in and join the attack for Chelsea this particular week, for this particular campaign that is about to begin. And I think that Chelsea, if they do that, they would be in some good business, and that could help. And also another thing from Chelsea camp, and they said Philip Jurgensen is on the verge of leaving to join RC Strasbourg, and it's almost done. The details are being sorted over salary conditions, and Jurgensen had left Chelsea's preseason camp as his move will take place soon. So Philip Jurgensen will be free Chelsea, but he's going to a sister club in RC Strasbourg. So I don't know, it could be a loan, but if it's a permanent move, I think it benefits the player because he has always been crying for minutes or or ball football. He wants to be in goal. And at this point with with Robert Sanchez, who is number one, and with the speculation of Diogo Costa to come in from Sporting CP now, I can assume that this is the right time for Philip Jurgensen to go. And then let's see what the future holds for Chelsea in terms of the additions in the goalkeeping department as well. And I would really be happy to see Diogo Costa join Chelsea. It's a very, very important deal that I need Chelsea to get done. Zabi Alonso, if you're listening to me, please make sure says our deal what complete said, Diego Costa is a very good goalkeeper. But boy, I cannot trust Robert Sanchez for this new campaign that we're about to start. It's a very delicate campaign. We need to get things right. And some of the things that we need to get right is our goalkeeping department. So Philip Jorgensen, wish him all the best. He'll leave. And we'll see how that also turns out for Chelsea Football Club. Now, there's something else going on. And that is from the camp of Manchester City. Now, exclusive, right? Savinho has informed Man City about his desire to leave this summer. He wants to play more football and develop his career. And his City has been informed by the wingers, all in the hands of City now. But Tottenham have made their interest known for the player since May. So if there's any team that he will even move to, I'm sure Ebe Tottenham Hotspur. At this point, no, player your friend Savinho are born the ball Manchester City. No, why not doing so? Free. He wants to go and play for a year. No, he's not stated where he wants to go and play, but the speculation is that Tottenham Hotspur are fighting very hard to secure the signature of Savinho from Manchester City. Now, confirmed, John Stones will land in Milano on Thursday for medical and contract signing with Inter. Now, John Stones, Chelsea were chasing him, Arsenal were chasing him. He was a free agent after he finished his contract with Manchester City. That was just the ended season. And a couple of teams were looking for a signature, but as it stands now, no, Milan, that's Inter Milan, is the team that have secured the signature of John Stones on a 2-year contract. Now, I think it was just on the part of John Stones to look for experience, to look for outside, to look for a new challenge outside of England. That was what he wanted, not necessarily the fact that he didn't want to play in England anymore. And another thing is that I think typically what Chelsea and Arsenal wanted to do was to just get him on a 1-year contract. But Inter Milan have given him 2 years contract. So I think the desire of the player is to play more, get more playing time, be an experienced hand in whatever team he goes to. But the 2 years favors him more than the 1 year because cumulatively, Lucas Kanibuma is more heavier. It can help him to, also do other things. And I think that's very important for every player who is looking for a new contract at the age at which John Stones is at currently. So kudos to the player. He's moving to Inter Milan, and we wish him all the best as he moves over there. He would have been a very good addition for Chelsea Football Club because in the defense area, you needed that experience, right? And with what Xabi Alonso wants to do now, no, he's gotten that experience in Jordan Henderson. Should he complete the move in the midfield? The same for Danny Welbeck if he's able to complete the move for the attack. John Stones would have been a very perfect addition for defense, but at this point, he's moving to Inter Milan. We'll see how that deal pans out. But that's also the news coming in from the camp of John Stones. There's so many other things happening in the transfer window. Ibrahim Asangari has signed his new contract at Nottingham Forest until 2029. So we wish the young player all the best. And yeah, that's also from the camp of Ibrahim Sangare. Bradley Barcola wants to join Liverpool, and there's no doubt about that. As reported since May, the Liverpool project is his priority, but any financial agreement is yet to be approved, done or sealed, seen as natural step, but at the right time. Talks will take place in the next days on the player side. It's Bradley Barcola or forcing very, very much so to complete the signing for Liverpool from PSG. Already, or you're not being on signing new contract with PSG. So the focus and the intention is to move away from PSG and join Liverpool. And I think he's had conversations with Coach Andoni Iraola as well, and he's made it very clear to him that he needs him to join Liverpool for a project. And I think he's convinced, but at this time there have to be some negotiations, and I think the contract is being prepared, the nitty-gritties and whatever it is being prepared very well. So let's wish Bradley Barcola all the best and hope that his deal to Liverpool will be finalized, and that could be something very good for the player to explore new opportunities in the English Premier League. Thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe to this channel. Turn on your post notifications. Anytime I drop a video, anytime I drop a new update, you'll be one of the first people to receive it. And we are going to build a very successful community over here. We'll talk football, we'll talk tactics, we'll talk all the transfers.